Good evening, everyone. Am I audible, Himanshu? Namaste and good evening, everyone. Nirvana is delighted to conduct this Bhagavad Gita series in the summer vacation. So, as we all know, that the Bhagavad Gita is a proud flag bearer of Bharat. It emerges as the ethereal oasis of enlightenment for humanity, illuminating the transformative path of action entwined with devotion. In a mere 700 shlokas, it weaves together profound wisdom and diverse philosophies, nested within the embrace of Sanatana Dharma. So today we have a very special guest with us, Shri Abhijit Prabhuji, who will be uh, giving a talk on the applications of Bhagavad Gita and how we can use this knowledge to transform our lives for the better. So I would now request Abhijit Prabhuji to start.
So, is the video good to everyone?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Right. So maybe present it. Okay. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic. Okay. So let me. Yeah. Okay. So is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Is the screen visible to everyone? May somebody confirm?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
That's great. So, all right. So, a very good evening to one and all, to the students and the participants from IIITS City. So this is the first time that I'm interacting with the members of IIITS City. So, first of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee, that is Nirvana Club, for giving me the opportunity to share this divine knowledge. Yes, uh, this immortal wisdom from the pages of our ancient text. Yes. So since we are very limited with our time, so without much beating around the bush, we will directly start. Okay. So it is my request to all the organizers that in case in between you feel that my voice is not clear or you are feeling something, kindly interrupt me in between. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. All right. So today we are going to discuss, that is that the topic is self mastery by cognitive restructuring. Yeah, that we have to master ourselves, using our will. So before we enter, how to do that? How to do the self mastery? First of all, is it possible to self master ourselves? That's the first question which comes to the mind, because sometimes we feel that our nature is what we have got, and it's very difficult to change. Sometimes some people are very angry in nature, and they say this is what I am, and this is what is my nature. Some people are too lazy, and throughout the life they keep dragging, and actually they never improve. Some people are not able to come out of their bad habits, so the first question comes: Is it is everything in the life destined, you know? or do we have the free will? It's a very fundamental question which comes to the mind of every person, because sometimes we find everything is in my control. If I did this amount of work, I got this much. But sometimes we are frustrated in our life. Sometimes we find I have done so much but I got nothing, you know. The consequences, the results may be completely opposite to what input we have given, you know. And then we are forced to think, oh, is this how does this world run? What is the equation, which governs the activity of this world? Is it random process, or there is some logic behind the working of this universe? Yes, we are forced to think. Let us see something. Okay, so first of all, I will start with very layman example, very basic example of flowers. So even to make a paper flower, so we remember in our crafts work, in the art work, in our childhood, we used to have this paper making, like with the help of paper, the teacher used to show us, you cut it like this, fold it like this, and then a beautiful flower used to come out. Even to make an artificial flower, so much of proper cutting, design, and our free will was required. Yes. So how much, and the real flower, if you see any beautiful rose or lotus flower, all the petals, they have a particular pattern, if you see there is some dark color at the edge, light hue in between, so it's a very beautiful design with fragrance coming, and all that. So we find that, okay, so it's not random, everything has a design. So what about our life? Some are born rich, some are born poor. Is it by chance? Some are born handsome, some are born ugly, you know some are born healthy and strong, and some are like paralyzed. Yes. Some are born to rich parents, some are very unfortunate to be born in, streets. Some are very intelligent, but some are like, like this we can see. So in our life, we choose certain thing, but certain thing we have no choice. For example, we have some control over what kind of job I want. Do I want to go in IT sector, or do I want to be in core engineering? The type of wife or husband which we want, the type of apartment we want, we have some control. But there are some things which we cannot choose. For example, our parents, they are already decided. And I have seen many people blaming their parents for what they are not able to do. They think that, oh, my parents didn't have that money to teach me in good institution. That's why I am here. You know? Our beauty, our skin color is already decided at the time of our birth. We didn't choose it. We are forced the skin color on us. Our intelligence, yes. So even this is not what we have chosen. We see that there are some people who will study just 2 hours and they will memorize everything. And there are some people I have seen, they will beat their head for 16 hours a day, but still they are not able to pass the exam also. Yeah. So I think each one of us has that experience. Yeah. Sometimes our intelligence is also predestined. We have very dull brain sometimes. No matter how much I burn the midnight oil, nothing happens, nothing enters in our brain. Yeah. So, so who chooses, and at what basis? That's the fundamental questions which, we are going to answer today. Who chooses and on what basis? Is it some random process? Is it like there is no logic behind it? Is it like some baby is born at, let's say now it is 5:12 p.m. Okay, throw him into a poor family. 5:13 p.m. Okay, rich. 5:14 poor, rich, poor. You know? Poor, rich, rich. Is it some random process? Okay, some child is being born in Bangalore. Okay, give him good intelligence. Somebody born in Sri City, give him good this one, is it like some random process going on, random allocation, or is there some logic, is there some basis, you know, which is governing this principle? Okay, so let us, so this is regarding our life. For a time being, let's shift our focus from the sentient being, that is, from the living being to the non-living being. Let us first observe, because this world is made up of two types of energy. One is the living energy, another is the non-living energy. Yes. So we are currently talking about, we are our main question was concerning the living force. Now let us focus on non-living force. How does they work? So we find that if we observe the non-living, matter, right from micro to macro, you know, everything is governed by proper laws of physics. Even if you throw a ball, which path it will take, that is also fixed. You know, I think we, all of us here sitting are engineers. We have studied, the whole Newtonian mechanics. We know the projectile motion, straight line motion, uniformly accelerated motion, and everything. So, so even the optics, it's not that, you just throw the beam of light at some place and randomly it comes out. No, there's a particular law of reflection. I is equal to R. Even if the light, it is transmitted, so there is a certain angle fixed as per material. Sine I by sine R is constant. So everything is so precise. Even the, even the thermodynamics. So these are just some of the example. Even the atoms, it's not that within the atom near the proton, some electrons are scattered here and there. No, yes, we have a fixed orbit of electron, and there's a fixed orbital velocity. How many electrons will stay in how many orbits, that is also fixed. It's so perfect. If even let us go to the bulk level, at a very universal level, to the planetary system, it is so precise. We have orbital velocity, of satellites. We have orbital velocity of planets, time period of their completion. We have Kepler law. We have so many laws governing the whole universe, and planetary system. So we find that right from the atomic level to the universal level, nothing is, so even the scientists, even the great scientists who went very deep into the physics, who went very deep into their study of matter, even they were perplexed. That this world is so beautiful. This world is as if somebody has made it so precise. How come so much of order? How come so much of you know, design is there within the universe? Yes. So even the great scientists were forced to believe that there must be some binding force of this universe. It cannot be random, including Einstein. There's a perfect brain behind all the nature physical laws. Yes. Yeah. So we saw micro world and macro world. Yes. So if the non-living entities, yeah. So I will just interrupt here. So can I know from the organizer that am I, is it going okay? Like, am I going
Yes, sir.
fast?
Yes, sir. Sir, one
Okay.
small issue, sir. There is some notification sound ping ping coming from the background. Can that be muted, sir?
Okay. From time to time, yeah. Hmm. All right. Maybe I will take care of that.
Thank you,
How
sir.
come? Okay. Okay. So how can our beauty, when the non-living things are acting so perfectly, how can the life of a living being be a random one? Yes, that's a very important question. Is it like on all the non-living things are bind very nicely, and the living beings, they are just thrown on this earth, like a burden, Okay, go and live your life, you poor fellow, you go there. You rich fellow, you go there. Is it like we that we are just thrown into this world? Is there a law governing us also? You know? So law of, I think we need not go very deep into it, but I think all of us know law of karma. Yes, that as you sow, so shall you reap. Yes, so this is a very fundamental question. So Lord Krishna also has very vividly described this in Bhagavad Gita, that we are product of whatever we have done in our life. Yes, so so nothing is a random process. We are product of our own activity. Yes, this is a very cardinal teaching of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. If we engage in sinful activity, you know, so then sinful reactions are awaiting us. Yes. So so our shastras, they go very deep into these things, that if we if we cultivate good habits in our life, so latter we will get its good consequence. But if we indulge in bad activity, it's not so. So even our life is governed by a perfect mathematics of law of karma. It's not random. So, destiny versus free will. So, life is made up of choices, and choices decide our future. So, every moment we have a free will and a choice, that should, if I choose a wrong path or a right path. And if you choose a right path, that right path will lead to one goal. And if you choose a wrong path, that wrong path will lead to completely opposite goal. Yes, so that choice is already there with us. So let us see it in nutshell. What is destined? Our past actions have created our present destiny. Yes, so according to law of karma, what parents we are born, with what mindset we are born, with what color of skin I am born, you know? So these things are already predestined because of our previous sum of karma. Because according to Bhagavad Gita, there is a continuity of life. Though the package around us, the body around us may keep changing, yes, but the soul, our mindset, everything, they remain constant. Yes. So it is said that the sum integral of all the previous life karma, they accumulate in this life to give shape to our physical condition, to our financial condition, to our intellectual condition. Yes. So we are product of our own karma. Yes. So now we have got a certain intelligence, and we cannot do anything about it, because whatever was done, it is done. Now, what we do with it, that is our choice. And see, whether I have got good intelligence or bad intelligence, it is already decided. But what I do with this intelligence, that will decide my future. Yes. For example, somebody has got a very dull intelligence, let's say, you know, and he just sits, oh, I have got a dull intelligence, what to say, God is very unfair, let me just go in the blanket and just sleep. Yes, nothing will happen. Yes, but if using that dull intelligence, if he works hard, for example, let's say, I have to go from a certain point A to point B. Yes, and somebody has a very fast moving Mercedes car, somebody only has an auto. So now one person is having Mercedes car, another person is having auto, and the auto person thinks, "How unfortunate I am! I am given the auto, and this person is given Mercedes car. What is the point, in traveling?" But but it is his choice. If he travels, if he very sincerely drives his auto properly, yes, the Mercedes car, it can reach in, let's say, half an hour. But if he also works hard, there's a chance that he can also reach the destination in 1 hour. It is the best utilization of his auto. He can drive. It is up to him to become depressed, and run the auto at like under speed, at the speed of 40, let's say. But if is very intelligent, okay, though I have got an auto, but I will make the full utilization of this auto. Okay, what is the maximum speed of this auto I can do? Okay, maybe I can do it, 100 kilometer per hour. It's, so he drives to the best speed which that auto can do. So he can also, accelerate in his life so we have got certain facility, but how I use that facility, that will decide my future. Yes. So it is it our scripture accept this. Yes, you are because you have got karma, you have already, like predestined certain thing, but it is up to us how to utilize that facility. Yes. For example, like I can give you some more example for it. For example, now we all are studying in different colleges. You are studying in triple IT. Some of your friends may have got to study in IIT. Somebody may have got NIT. So now it's done. All of us are at different colleges. And now let's say somebody who has come to triple IT, he is lamenting, oh, why I came to triple IT. How fortunate those IITians are. These IITians, they will get good package. And and I am not in so good ranked college. What to do? So I have seen such people. They simply go in the college, pass the time. Their 4 years are over, and they come out. But somebody thinks, okay, I have come into this college, but this college also has some facility. Okay, it may not have facility like IITs, or foreign universities, but it has some good facility, some good professors, some good, input. So let me use them very nicely. And I have seen some of my friends. I remember when I went to IIT Kharagpur to study, do my Btech. So there were some of my friends who went to some normal college, but I have seen some of my friends, they fully utilized, the facilities given to them in that normal college, and today they have outshined, they have shined more than if even any of the IITians also, because they fully utilized whatever was available to them. So now it is not their, now they cannot do anything to change their college. So what is in their hand to fully utilize what is given to them, and such people also outshine. Yes. Yeah. So in this there are two kinds of theory. One is Karmavad, another is Devavad. Yes. So these two kinds of philosophy exist in our India. So what is Karmavad? Karmavad says that there is nothing known as destiny. Everything is in our hand. Yes. So Karmavad says this, and the Devavad says that everything is determined by destiny. Nothing is in our hand. Yes. So what's the right? You know? So it is said that the actual teaching is, it is a combination of both. So neither it is 100% karma, neither it is 100% deva. It's not that everything is in our hand, because we see it doesn't work like that. If you, it's not that if you study for 16 hours, then like somebody is studying for 10 hours, and if you study for 16 hours, is it guaranteed that you will get more than him? You know? Let's say somebody is studying for 16 hours and he achieved certain thing. Can you guarantee that if I study 1 hour more than him, that is 17 hours, I will achieve more than him? Sometimes the world doesn't work like that. It's not that only by hard work you can get everything. Yes, and that's why people commit suicide. If you focus too much on the karma side, then everything can be gotten by hard work. you know just do it. Just run, as fast as you can, and you will achieve your dream. Such peace, sometimes such theory, they lead to suicidal thoughts also. Because when a person works very hard and he doesn't have the knowledge of deva part, destiny part, so sometimes he thinks, oh, I work so much. That person worked less than me, but why he is up and I am down? And such if we are too much on the karma side, it creates a lot of envy in our heart. It creates a lot of cutthroat competition in our heart. It creates a lot of depression in our heart. And let's say if we are able to cross somebody also, it creates pride in our heart. You know? So if we only focus on karma part, only through karma this world runs. You know? Only through hard work, we will find at some point or other we will get frustrated, because sorry to say this world doesn't work like that. You know? That work, you know, because sometimes we find those who are very educated, you know, they are earning, you know, very less money, but those who are like angutha chap, you know, you know, they invested in something, and their business boomed suddenly, you know, out of nowhere, and today they are hiring educated people. Yes. So we find such cases also. And if we focus too much on deva part, what is the deva part? Everything is destiny, you know? So then of course this theory is also bogus theory, you know? Everything is not destined, you know? If you just sleep, you know, you're not going to get the result. Yes. And then if you focus too much on the deva part, there's no need to work on this world. Let everybody go to sleep, you know? What is the need to work then? Yes. Automatically, you know, in my destiny something is written. In my destiny, some 10 lakhs rupees is written. You know, it will automatically be, you know, deposited in my bank. What is the need to work? Yeah. So yeah. Let us see. Yeah. So it is both. You know, that we it is the both combination of deva and karma. Okay, so from this, I will go to the next part of my talk. That is the self mastery. So my initial talk was all about that it is, you know, quite possible to change our habits, you know, because, you know, so first of all, with great honesty, we have to accept that. So no, we have to accept that we are destined certain things, but at the same time we have free will to use, you know, properly whatever we are given. Yes. So, you know, so now let us see about our self mastery part, you know. So before understanding the self mastery, yes, we have to first understand about our mind, you know, because first of all, what is mind? So mind is the medium through which we interact with this world. Yes. So we find that we cannot do anything in this world without the intervention of our mind. Let's say now all of you have come here to attend the session. If your mind is roaming here and there, can you attend the session properly? No, you cannot attend. Yes. If your mind, है ना, and no matter if you're, है ना, suppose it is said that you are where your mind is. Yes. So the mind and the, you know, equivalent of it in a very gross format is the brain. So it's a complex machine for the scientist. Yes. It is said that some 60,000 thoughts run through the mind. Yes. On an average. Yes. And most of them are just random and unnecessary. Yes. So 95% of those thoughts were the same as that once you thought the day before. Yes. So, you know, so and there are two kinds of mind. One is the subconscious mind, another is the conscious mind. Yes. So what is subconscious mind? Subconscious mind, so conscious mind means what you are thinking now. Suppose you are attending the session, so there are some thoughts coming in your mind. Oh, session is good, or session is not good, you know, or something like that. So that's the conscious mind. And what is subconscious mind? The subconscious mind is the thoughts which are lying beneath. Yes. It is our attitude. Yes. Which may not be visible suddenly, but it is what we are made up of, you know? And this attitude automatically show off in difficult times, you know? When we face the difficult time, our real attitude comes out, and it is subconscious mind, which stores all the impressions, our faith, what we associate with it. It forms our subconscious mind, and it is from the subconscious mind that the bubbles of thought, they surface on our conscious mind. So so the so mind is very powerful. If it is controlled, it is our best friend, but if it is uncontrolled, it will be our greatest enemy. Yes. And that's why you find, suppose you are sad to study, if your mind doesn't cooperate, no matter how physical environment you create, you can sit on a nice chair, you can sit on a nice table, you know, you can be with the best book of this world, you know. You could have worn the best new and clean clothes, but if your mind is not cooperating, you cannot study. we, Rather, we cannot do any activity of this world if our mind is not cooperating. Yes, it's very difficult, and somebody whose mind is very controlled, it's a big boon for them. And that's why we find those people who clear IES exam, or who clear IIT, exams. So we find somehow their mind is their good friend. It cooperates with them when they study, and that's why it is their good friend. But for some people, they cannot sit at one place for more than 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, their mind start creating trouble. It doesn't cooperate, and that's why it is our greatest enemy. Yes. So mind is compared just like a knife. So if it is in a surgeon's hand, it saves life. But if it is in a murderer's hand, it destroys life. Yes. So similarly, mind, the same mind can be a supporting friend in our life. The same mind can be a destructive factor in our life. Yes. So consequences of uncontrolled mind, the lack of confidence, loss of trust, madness, and there are so many problems with the mind, and that's why we find in this 21st century, the biggest trouble is the mind. The biggest trouble, yes, is the mind. So, let us study the chariot of the body. So, what is the role of mind, intelligence, and so? So, it is said within our body there are two kinds of faculty. One is mind, that is mana. Another is intelligence, that is buddhi. Yes, and we have our five senses. The outer covering of the senses, like eyes, ears, tongue. So it is said, if you take the body to be like a chariot, so senses are like the five horses which are running. The mind is like the rope. Yes, and the intelligence is like the driver. Yes, and the soul is just like the passenger. Yes. So this is how the chariot of body is described. So now it is said that buddhi, so the mind is the storehouse of all the thoughts, and the buddhi is the decision maker in the body. So we can see one more example to understand this. Yes. So it is said that, if you see the computer example, in the computer example, the CPU is act like an intelligence. Yes. The hard disk, which stores all the files, the RAM, the ROM part, it acts like the mind. you know. And the outer covering of the computer, it is just like the body. And the operator is who? The person who experiences the screen of the computer, that is the soul. Yes. So this is the example. So now, what is the role of mind? So mind is that faculty which stores all the thoughts, which is the storehouse of all our impressions and everything in our life. Yes. And the CPU, that is our buddhi, it is meant to take the decision that where to direct my mind, where to direct my senses. So if we go to the chariot, if uh, if our intelligence is strong, it will hold the mind nicely, and then the chariot can run at a nice speed. But if the intelligence is weak, that is the driver is weak, and the driver is loosely catching the mind, that is the rope, and then the senses, the horses will run here and there, yes, and it may lead to accident. The same thing happens in our body. If our buddhi is weak, if we are not well trained in our knowledge, and and we are loosely holding the grip of our mind, and then the senses will run here and there, and that's why we find, let's say tomorrow is the exam, and you are sitting to study, yes, but if you are not determined, yes, in your buddhi, then what happened, the senses run here and there. Oh, I want to watch movie, yes, or some nice smell of some food is coming. Oh, let me go and eat that food, let me see some good movie. So the eyes, ears, tongue, everything is running in all directions, because why? Because we have let loose our the rope of the mind, and why that rope is loosened? Because the buddhi, which is meant to direct the mind and senses, is not determined, and that's why senses are let loose of. They run here and there, and thus we are not able to achieve our goal. Yes. So in another example, sometimes intelligence is compared to a father, and the mind is compared to mother, and senses just like a children. So in our typical Indian family, if the father is very strong, you know, and if the father is well educated, he knows what is the right thing for my family, and if he is very strict, and then the mother follows the father very nicely, and then takes care of children properly, the whole family runs in proper direction, yes. But for example, if the father is very weak, and the children, they are demanding chocolate, and then mother is saying ki, oh, these children, they are demanding a lot of chocolates, what to do, I have to give them, and the father is a weak fellow, he just sanctions, oh, the children are demanding chocolate, oh, give them as much they want, anyways they are crying so much, and then we will find they will eat the chocolate and they will spoil the teeth. But if the father is very strong, he directs the mother, no, if this children, they eat a lot of chocolate, their teeth will spoil, no more chocolate. And then we find if physically the family grows nicely, yes. So similarly, it is said that in a family, if the head of the family, he is strong, the whole family goes in the right direction, yes. So with this we have seen that the mind is the storehouse of all the thoughts, unfulfilled desires, and the previous experiences, and many thought come. So now the question may come, why somebody's mind is a good friend, and why somebody's mind is a bad friend. Why does that happen? Yes. So why does it happen that somebody's mind is cooperating very nicely, yes, and somebody's mind is not cooperating very nicely, why does it happen that somebody sits to study, they are very focused, in their studies, and somebody is sitting to study, and his mind is moving in all directions, you know, and his study is very ineffective, he is unable to achieve his goal, he is always depressed, he is always thinking something else, something happens. So is it like a random, again we are coming to the same thing, is it a random process? So as we have already seen, the free will and destiny part, it's not random, because of our previous, activities, our current state of mind is decided, so our mind work on the principle of gigo, good in, good out, garbage in, garbage out. Yes, this is how, like in this way we can give the example of YouTube. For example, if you open the YouTube, you get certain notifications, and you get a certain type of invitation to watch certain videos. Is it like a random process? Somebody opens the YouTube and he gets the notifications, please watch this ISRO launch, please watch this Bhagavad Gita class, please watch this educational videos. And somebody else is opening his YouTube and he is getting the notification, please watch this movie, please watch this song, please watch this dirty picture, or something like that. So why somebody's YouTube is giving good notification, why somebody's YouTube is giving bad notification? Is it happening randomly? No, it is all depending on how you have used the YouTube in past. If you have watched lot of educational videos, if you have watched lot of Bhagavad Gita videos, next time when you open the YouTube, it will give the same pop-up, you know. But if you have used the YouTube in a wrong way, next time when you open the YouTube, it will give wrong notifications. Yes. So it's not a random process that somebody YouTube is giving good notification, somebody's YouTube is giving bad notification. It is just good in, good out, bad in, bad out. Good video seen before, good notification to see good video coming. Bad video seen in the past, so notification to watch bad video is coming now. Similarly, the mind. If you have used your mind in wrong activity in the past, you have directed your mind in all the different bad activities. So the current state, it will give that notification only. Hey, go and watch the movie. Hey, come, let's play. Hey, come, here is my friend who is going. So those notifications are coming, and we are maddened by those notifications. The mind is giving different proposals, different thought pattern, different type of things, and we are maddened. Somebody who has willingly used his mind in right direction, yes, and in his current state, his mind will give good notification. And tomorrow is exam, let us keep studying, let us not go there, and watch movie. Anyway, when the exam get over, you will get good time, so currently focus here. Yes. So it's not a random process, it's our own free will. Yes. Which have led to this, and that's why, yeah, we should cultivate good habits, because these habits only. For example, let's say, I'm just taking this wonderful example. In foreign countries, currently, most of the leaders of big companies, they are from Indians, and lot of Indians are preferred over Westerners to lead the company. Why? Yes, it is because they have found one thing, that these Indians, they are very hardworking, they have lot of tolerance, they have lot of patience. Whereas those who are Americans, they get easily fried up, they get easily loosened up in their thought. Why? Because of the life pattern. Because a typical India, because nowadays Indian lifestyle is becoming Western. But if you go to our, if you go 10-20 years back to a typical Indian student, from the beginning only he was disciplined. From the beginning only, means there were restrictions on him. You cannot do this. Our Indian student used to be fearful. Our Indian student, he has to undergo some kind of tapasya in in order to study properly, and all those things. Whereas the American students, from the beginning only, they are given freedom. You do this, you do that. Sometimes they do this, sometimes they watch movie, and there's nobody to control them. If their parents say something, if their parents beat them, they can report to the police. So even parents are also fearful that if I scold my child a lot, he will report in police. So their mind is, trained in a very oscillating manner. So currently also, their mind is in oscillating manner, and when they go to work, their mind work in that fashion. Whereas the Indian mind is trained in a different fashion, and that's why it can tolerate difficulties. It can remain stable in a difficult situation. It can focus at certain point for a long time, because it's all about, the previous training which was given, which is manifesting in their youth. Yes, and that's why this pattern was observed in Western countries. You know, so it is all about cultivating good habits. So this is an example of a goalkeeper. So this is one of the world's very famous goalkeeper. So it is said that this goalkeeper was initially a fruit seller. So what he used to sell watermelon. So the watermelons will come in a big truck, and somebody from the truck will throw the watermelon, and this person will keep catching it and giving to another person for cutting the watermelon. So his job was that somebody will throw, he will catch. So he, for many years, he became so expert that he can catch the watermelon without much focus. Means it will come, he will just catch. He became so expert. And when there was the recruitment for football team in his country, he also participated to be a goalkeeper. So he used to assume that the football is just like that watermelon, and he became such a so it became his habit. you know. So our mind has certain type of inertia. So you know the Newton's law of inertia. What it says, inertia means the first law of Newton says that a body has tendency to be at rest if it is at rest. It is tendency to keep moving if it is already moving. You know? Unless and until applied by an external force. That's Newton's first law. Similarly, our mind also works on the law of inertia. You know? If you give momentum to mind in a particular direction, so it will run very fast, and then it becomes very difficult to like reduce its speed in that direction. If you have directed your mind in a positive direction, if somebody has cultivated that good habit, you know, again and again and again, every day practicing good habit, his mind is catching speed in the right direction. And even after some years, his mind will become so much trained in that right direction that whenever he will sit to do something, his mind will fully cooperate. And somebody who has given a negative speed to his mind, all the time misusing his mind, sometime doing this, sometime doing that, sometime watching pornography, sometime doing this, so his mind will be you know trained in a fully negative direction. Even if he sit to do something fruitful, his mind will not cooperate because of inertia, because inertia is so fast, you know, like that. Yes, and that's why we find our habits develop, and they are very difficult to change. See, why habits are addictive? It's all because of the inertial nature of the mind, because our mind has a nature of inertia, and it becomes very difficult. Some people who are addicted to a certain type of behavior, some people are addicted to drugs, you know, they they will give up their life to purchase the drugs. It's so addictive. Some people, they think that I will smoke only one cigarette, you know. But they in the process they become a chain smoker, you know. So somebody becomes a drunkard, because this is what they are, they are repeating that activity again and again, and just giving that negative momentum to the mind. Yes, yes, and then these bad habits have very difficult consequence in our life. So that's why it is said, you know. So these things, they sometimes we have to pay a very heavy price for the bad habits which we have cultivated. They just don't allow us to achieve our goal. We are just thrown into the pool of depression. We are thrown into the pool of ineffectiveness in our life, and we cannot do anything. Yes, and that's why it is said that sow your thought properly, because it will change into action, and be careful of your action, because repetitive action leads to a habit. Repetitive habit, it leads to the character, and that character decides our destiny. So this is the various levels. See, first it comes as a thought. If you repeat that thought in the mind, then immediately you will do the action. For example, you are seeing some bad habit again and again. It is coming. Oh, let me also try. Oh, let me also try. If you cut there at the thought level with your sharp thought, with the sharp intelligence, no, it's a bad thing, I will not do it, then it will never turn into action. But if you repeat it in your mind, oh, let me also do that bad thing. Oh, so see, my my friend seemed to be very happy. He's taking nice drugs and he's going into ecstasy by taking drugs. Seems it's a very nice idea. But then you don't do it. Next day, again you repeat that thought in your mind. And you see, again he took drugs. He's looking very happy. You know? So by repetitive thought, one day it will gain the momentum of action. And then one day you will think, let me do it today. And you do it one day. And still there is a chance to leave it. But if you repeat that action again and again, then so you will become the slave of it, and then you cannot get rid of it. It will gain. So suppose the train has come to a station. Yes, if it has stopped and you enter into it, better it is. The train has started running. It is in slow speed. If you still catch it, better. But once it catches its full speed, can you catch the train? Very difficult. Similarly, the mind. At the thought level, if you cut it, very nice. By mistake, uh, you have turned into action. So still you can stop it in first action or second action because it has not turned into a habit. And once it has become a habit, it becomes like a full, fast-moving train. Then you cannot catch it. Yes, it's very difficult. So similarly, be careful about our thought. So don't mingle with the mind too much. Don't try to take risk in this world. Sometimes we think कि है ना मैं बस थोड़ा सा करूंगा उसके बाद छोड़ दूंगा है ना I will just indulge with these bad things little bit and then I will leave it. No, that little bit, will change into action and then habit, and then that will be our character, and that we are, and we'll spoil our life. Yes. So I remember when I was preparing for IIT JEE in my 12th class. So there was one very nice student. So it was told by our all the teachers that this student will get top 100 rank in all over India. He was so intelligent. He was the best student of our whole batch. And then I remember by mistake, while he was in middle of the 11th class, he got attached to some girl. He started talking to that girl and he thought that I will just talk a little bit and I will also do my study. What is the problem? And gradually those interactions became more. And then he started calling that girl again and again. And but he was convinced, oh, I am studying also, and in the free time I do that also. What is the problem? And gradually it started catching speed in that direction, and he became so maddened, by he became so excited about those feelings and everything that he completely forgot his study. And mind it, the person who was like teachers were telling he will get top 100 rank. Currently, he couldn't clear IIT JEE even with 5,000 rank. He was nowhere in the list. And he was then breaking his head and crying, why I did it. Just a little bit of, just for the small drops of pleasure, I spoiled my career. You know, I could have been a computer science student in IIT Bombay. That was my potential. That was the intelligence given to me by God. And just for small drops of pleasure, I have spoiled everything. So that's why these habits are very, very powerful. They can completely throw us away from, and then we will be just a helpless slave of our mind. So don't let it happen, and don't curse. See, yeah. So now in the end, I am just coming to yeah, to the because I am running out of time, because we are just I am told to like finish at 6 o'clock. So there were some more things, but let me come to the solution part, because this is what people they want to know. How? Yeah. So the solution I will tell in ABCD. Yes. So first A is association. है ना? As I told, good in, good out, bad in, bad out. है ना? Garbage in, garbage. This is how our mind works. है ना? So it is said that, so be careful of what books you read, what movies you watch, what music you see, what kind of friends you interact, because it is said that you are what you associate with. It is through these agents that, those seed of thoughts are planted in our mind. So be away from them. Yes. So it's not that we have to disrespect our bad friend. So if suppose you have some friend who is indulging in bad habit, please remember there is no greater enemy than your bad friend, because he can plant all the dirty things in your mind, and form your character, bad character. Yes. So be careful of what videos you watch, what kind of, because these small things actually they form the impressions in our mind, and they form the sum total of our character. Be careful. Books, B for books, knowledge. Yes. And so in our gurukul, we were taught, to, because these books they nourish our intelligence. So food for intelligence is what? Knowledge, divine knowledge. So earlier in our gurukul, the children were trained right from beginning in the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and that's why they used to get that discrimination in their life. This is right, this is wrong. You know? This I have to say no, this I have to say yes. You know? So if you feed yourself regularly, so it is said that it should become our daily habit to read Bhagavad Gita at least, few minutes a day, at least one slok per day. It used to be an integral part of every student in India. Currently it is lost, and that's why the students intelligence used to be tenacious. you know. They had such a power to say no to wrong things, and say yes to right things, because our kings, they used to die for the country. We used to have the kings who used to die for honesty. Why? Because their intelligence was so sharp, like a razor blade. If something is wrong, I will give up my life, but I will not indulge into it. Such a powerful intelligence they had, such a discriminating intelligence they had. C for chanting. So this chanting is the natural method to cure. Because see, okay, now I will not choose the wrong habits, but already I have accumulated some bad habits from my previous misdoings or my previous life. I already have some bad mind setup. Yes. So it is said that we should, but chanting is a natural sonic process to cure the disease of our mind. It is a natural process to bring the mind back to a natural state. You know? So this chanting clears up all the previous, bad impressions which are lying in our mind. So it's a natural treatment to our mind. And D for diet. So this diet includes, the proper lifestyle. So our lifestyle also has a lot of consequence on the mind. What we eat, at what time we sleep, what kind of activity we do, at what time we get up. So a proper sattvic lifestyle, clean clothes, clean food, sattvic food, all these things, they form the environment around our mind. And that's why we find, if suppose somebody is keeping his room clean, so there's a high chance for him to remain, in a very balanced state of mind. And somebody is keeping his room dirty, there's a high chance to come to him in a lower thought pattern. Yes. So be careful. Yes. So yeah. So with this I will try to end the session. So in a nutshell, what we discussed today is that, uh, first of all, we discussed about free will versus destiny, and in that we discussed that actually the proper philosophy is that our life is a combination of both our destiny and free will. Destiny decides our current facility, whether we have Mercedes or auto, and our free will decides how we use what we have got. We cannot change what we have got. You know? We are born with certain intelligence, certain parents, certain money. You know? Now with that limited resources, you know, how I make the best use of those resources will decide my next future. You know? And that's why, it is quite possible to do the self mastery. You know? And in the self mastery, we saw that the center of self mastery is our own mind. You know? Because it's through the interface of mind we interact with the world. And our mind, what आवाज आ रहा है? So our mind, it is so our mind, it is the result of our previous actions, our previous impressions. Yes, it's the so it is said that the good in and good out, bad in and bad out. So we should carefully handle our mind, because our mind has a nature of inertia. Yes, and we saw that cycle of thought to action, action to habit, and habit to character, character to destiny. So better to cut it at the upper end, at the thought level only. Don't mingle with your mind too much. Life is very precious. Life is not just to walk, to become a slave of our mind. Life is to become the master of the mind. Life is to, use our mind to do something good in this world, for ourselves, for the society. Life is not to be dragged by our mind. So we should carefully use this knife of our mind. This knife of our mind can be used to treat a patient, or it can be used to kill a person. So be careful with your mind. And we saw the four solutions, in the form of ABCD: association, books, chanting, and D for diet, that is our lifestyle. Okay, so with this we conclude our session. So thank you very much for all of your patience hearing.
Thank you, sir, very much for this
Yeah,
wonderful
yeah.
session. So it was really enlightening to listen to you. We learned about so many important points through this session. It was really a great session, and I hope our participants found this very helpful. We would all try to implement these principles in our life to improve our lives, and we look forward to having such great sessions in the future also. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So we would now like to have a short question answer round. If anyone wants to ask any question to sir, they can write in the chat box. I'm turning on the chat box for everyone, or you can also raise your hands if you wish.
Yeah. If anybody has any question, they can ask.
Sir, can you mute your sound, please? Actually, there is some notification sound coming in the background. Can that be muted?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It is done. It is done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So Vishal Singh is asking that what is the difference between conscious, subconscious, and unconscious?
Yeah. What is the difference? So conscious means what you are aware of now. For example, now you are thinking, what session is going on? Okay, some question has to be asked. So this is the current thought which is going on at the surface of the mind. So the so that is known as conscious mind. Subconscious mind, it may not be visible now. For example, you have a tendency to become angry. Yes. So that is already there in the subconscious mind. And at any time, the thought can pop up from subconscious to conscious. So you can say that subconscious is just like, the fishes inside the ocean, and the conscious is like the surface of the ocean. So sometimes the fishes, they can, from their mouth some bubbles can come on the surface. Similarly, there are fishes of our attitude in our subconscious mind, and they can sometimes lead to surface to some thoughts. So subconscious mind is our attitude basically. It's the impressions on our mind. And our subconscious mind, decides what kind of thoughts will surface up in our consciousness. You know? This mind is just like the RAM, and and subconscious mind is like a ROM. So RAM is the random access memory, which is currently, suppose I am running my computer. So in order to run the computer now, RAM is required. So RAM occupies the current memory. Suppose I have opened Google Chrome, I am running this Zoom meeting. So all of this is going at the RAM level. And the ROM level is about the what is already stored in the computer. So sometime what is stored in the computer becomes the current file. Suppose currently I was showing my PPT. So this PPT was stored in my hard disk. That's the subconscious mind. Currently it has come to the surface to use on my laptop. So that becomes the conscious mind. Is that clear?
Thank you so much, sir, for the answer. Rohit Kumar is asking how to deal with the critic mind.
Critic in the sense of one who judges everybody. Am I right? Yeah. Am I right, Rohit? Who judges everyone? Is that the meaning of critic you are meaning?
I think that he is meaning that, like, in our mind we always have some question, like where when we take some decisions, always there is some opposition to that. We get confused.
Okay. We get confused, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. See, we get see why we get confused in our mind whether to do this or whether to do that. It is because of dull intelligence. You know? Intelligence is not very sharp. We don't know what is good for me. You know, should I do this or should I do that? You know, it's like a cloud. You know, because we are not fixed in our goal. You know, what to do and what not to do. You know? And this is how it happens. But सबको chanting a sound. So we are not fixed, you know, in our goal. That's why it happened. So first, to in order to remove that critic mind, the first step is to be clear what we want in our life, and to know the goal of life. You know, we have to read scriptures. So when we read scriptures, you know, and it sharpens our mind, you know, and we know what is good for me, what is bad. It's quite easy to take decision. You know, suppose you have to think, should I choose A or B? You know, if your intelligence is very sharp, A, so you can decide this A will lead me to this goal, and this B will lead me to this goal. You know, so which is that goal which is best for me? It can only be decided if your intelligence is clear. You know? But if your intelligence is multi-branched, you know, and then suppose somebody just want to enjoy in this life, he will be confused because there are so many obstacles to enjoyment. If I do this, I will not be able to enjoy much. If I do that, maybe this will happen, that will happen. But if your goal is very clear, so it will all depends on the clarity of the goal of our life, what we want to do with our life. Yeah, yeah. Is there any other question?
Thank you, sir, so much for the wonderful answers. I believe there are no more questions. If anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand, or uh, you can turn on your mic to ask your questions. Even you can write in the chat box, whatever you prefer. So I think there are no more questions. Thank you, sir, very much for uh, helping us and blessing us with this knowledge. We are really grateful for this event, and we look forward to further collaborations. So thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.